Thanks for joining us again. Today we're going to be looking at the respiratory system of a sheep. We're going to try and inflate the different parts of the lung and see how successful we are. Let's give it a go. At the top of the pluck, we have the trachea. It's made up of cartilage rings that travel down, meeting up with the bronchi. Above the trachea would normally be the larynx. The esophagus would normally sit behind the trachea. The cartilage rings face towards the esophagus, which can allow big chunks of food to actually expand into the trachea to allow it to pass through the esophagus. At the end of the trachea, the airway splits into the left and right branches of the bronchi. The bronchi then split into smaller airways known as bronchioles, and they're spread throughout the lungs. Each bronchiole further splits into smaller branches known as terminal bronchioles. At the end of those is the alveoli to the lungs. So here's the pluck from the other side. Again, trachea, heart, lungs. You can see there's quite a lot of fat built up around the heart. At the base of the lungs are the lobes of the liver. In an adult, it's about the size of a football. The liver's job is basically to clean your blood. So if you've ever accidentally eaten something that was harmful, your liver would try and break it down and clear it out of your system. Here we have the septum dividing the heart into the left and right chambers. We have the apex at the bottom and the valves at the top. You can tell that this is the right side because it's much squishier than that of the left. The left also has the apex at the bottom. Let's remove the heart and put it aside for later on. So in a normal respiratory system, this would all be closed off and we'd be able to inflate it by putting air into the trachea at the top here. However, because it's come from the abattoir, they've sliced it open to do a number of tests on the sheep. So instead we'll attempt to put air straight into the bronchioles. Let's give it a go. Start with our lobe over here on the right. You can see it's inflating, and even the colour of the lobe has changed. The pleura there has expanded. Now when you get air in the pleura, that can actually cause a collapsed lung. So all of these lobes are inflating nicely, which is really good to see. It shows that there's no nicks on the lobes. Same again, the pleura has expanded here, trapping the air between the lung and this thin film. If we go over to the other side, you can see it inflates there, just like it was breathing in and out. You can see how quickly they inflate and deflate as I move the air in and out of each bronchiole. There we go. You can see that the air is still trapped in this lobe. You can clearly see a different lobe here, inflating another lobe. Moving over to the top lobe. There we go. So we've got the 3 lobes on our right hand side. 1, 2, and the third one down the bottom. Try once more on this side. See what we've got. So I've actually popped that one. Same again, the pleura has expanded here, trapping the air between the lung and this thin film. We'll go over to the other side. You can see it inflates there, just like it was breathing, in and out. See how quickly they inflate and deflate as I move the air in and out of each bronchiole. There you go. My left thumb is on the right chamber because we can tell it's quite squishy and doesn't contain the apex. And if we look closely here, we can see the aorta and its many branches, not just the single tube that we'd see in a diagram. We've got veins that are thinner, the auricles, and the septum.